And the Palmerton Band is starting to march again.
Behind the band, we've got the Palmerton cheerleaders in their rain gear.
Yep.
Now coming up next in the distance, look, look, look.
We have 4 Palmerton High School floats. Now, we don't know which ones these are. We have one from 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grades. Paula Kistler
this is
in
class
charge.
of 92, I think. So I would guess that that's the senior class, right?
Right. We were told, by the way, by a passing student, that this is the first year that the juniors have beaten the seniors. They're very proud of that.
With their float, right.
That's right.
So we'll see how good. Now this is the seniors. And they've got, what do they have here? A football?
A huge football player with a moving arm. He looks like he's going to toss that football.
But he's on a sleigh. And what is he riding?
What is he riding?
I see the sleigh, but who is...
The Spirit of 92.
Who is pulling the sleigh? What is that? A bulldog. Is that a...
I see a football goalpost over there, and it looks like they're pulling them toward that. They're feeding it a bone to try to get that thing to move. I see a couple reindeer back there.
That's pretty good. And the smoke is pouring out of the football player, too. That's all right. All right, now the juniors supposedly have won in this contest, so let's see how good theirs could be. Here it is, coming up next, I believe. Yep, class of 93. Bomber Thunder, it's called.
93. We see some pumpkins. Let's see.
Graves.
Graves. It looks like a graveyard.
And they do have first place.
Candy.
That's probably why they won. They've got candy.
The kids voted on this one. They like getting candy.
And we're locked inside.
The Bulldogs, 1991. And they call it the Bulldog Burial.
Well, as long as there's no live animals on that, we're all right.
You're right.
Okay, that's the juniors.
And they got first place. It's posted right on there.
Coming up next should be the sophomore floats.
Yes, we won!
Box the Bulldog.
I see a boxing match going on right on their float.
Now they have something, all right, correct me if I'm wrong, but I guess they have something against the Bulldogs?
Yeah, I guess so.
Is that of Northern Lehigh? Is that who we're discussing here? Okay, there they are.
It's the Bombers versus the Bulldogs, and this is round 2 that we're looking at.
Class of 95, that would make it the freshmen, right?
Oh,
that's the freshman.
Yeah, that's the freshman.
Yep. That's pretty nice.
All kinds of faces in the back. That's the crowd behind them.
Well, that's it for the floats. I don't see a sophomore float.
Yeah, maybe the sophomores didn't.
They didn't get together and do one this year, I guess. Okay, who we have up next?
Let's see.
Homecoming king and queen from Palmerton High School and their court.
It's Amy Milkby and
that's
Richard
the runner-up. They're the runner-up, and here must be the winners.
And they don't have a sign, so we don't know their names. But they are.
That's the runner-up right now on the screen. That's his runner-up on the card, and the one behind him was the supposedly the winners. Harley-Davidson Motor Club is coming up next.
Yeah, we can hear those engines revving. Look at this little motorcycle right here.
Yeah, well, it's not on screen yet, but we see it, but they don't see it at home yet.
You're right.
Where's that little motorcycle you're talking
Should
about?
Be coming right up. There it is.
This little guy here in the middle of your screen.
Yeah.
All right. Look like they're having a little fun out there.
Yep. Doing some figures.
Getting a laugh from the audience. Oh no, that's actually two people in the middle of the street. Watching the 1991 Carbon County Veterans Day Parade on Channel 13. George Roberts, along with Marie Johns, providing the play-by-play, the color of the parade. Coming up after the motorcycles, we're going to see the Wheels of Time. And you see them getting ready to fill the screen.
See some pretty interesting vehicles.
Yeah, yep.
I see some umbrellas popping up. It looks like the rain has started a little bit again.
These guys with these cars take great pride in making sure that they reconstruct them the way they were. Finding original parts they can work with.
Here they come. The Wheels of Time. Decorated with the American flag is fitting.
And I think we have a whole lot of them coming up, I believe. In fact, because I ran into them before with my car.
It's always interesting. You can always tell when something's going on. You'll be driving along the highway and you'll be passing all of these cars. You feel like you're in a time warp. You know, they have to be going to some kind of car show or parade.
Sort of like Back to the Future.
Rub your eyes a little bit. Make sure that you didn't really...
So what would this be? Palmerton circa 1955?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not very good with years of cars here, but...
I would say if you were...
I know they're classics, George.
If you were on the streets of Palmerton in 1958 or so, you'd probably see some of these. I would say.
You're right. I think you're right.
Thank you. I like to be right.
Some nice paint jobs, too.
They look like they're ready to drag race right here.
Yeah, they did look like that.
Moving up to the line. And here's an older model car.
You can look right into the engine there.
The black one, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Also reminds me of the movie American Graffiti.
Whoa. They're the ones that look like they're going to go drag racing, George.
And they're off. And that's the end of Division 1.
And we'd like to remind you to tune in to Monday Evening Quarterback. You can join hosts Bob Capasso and Ed Hedis for a look back at games in hindsight and interesting discussions with area coaches and athletes. A viewer call-in segment will allow you sports fans to offer your comments and suggestions and get facts right up front. Join TV 13 and Monday Evening Quarterback each Monday evening at 7:30 p.m.
Bob always has some interesting sports facts to pass along, too.
They get an awful lot of calls, too, and a lot of interesting questions from the fans.
Keeps them busy, so you keep that phone number handy. Coming up next, it's Division II in the 1991 Carbon County Veterans Day Parade here in Palmerton, Pennsylvania.
Delaware Avenue, the main drag.
Pennsylvania National Guard Jeep has the sign in the window for Division II, and we're getting things underway with the Lehighton United Veterans Organization, Legion Post 314, VFW Post 256, and the AMVETS Post 106.
They have a good group there marching along.
And you know what you hear coming up behind them?
I hear a band, George.
You're right. It's the Lehighton Band, directed by Paul Smith. So sit back and enjoy. You got some great music. Amazed at how many people made it out to today's parade, especially the groups that are participating.
You're right. We haven't really skipped anybody here yet.
No, here's the Watch Me Grow Daycare Center.
They're enjoying that music from the band right before them.
You ever see these kids walking down the street holding each other's hands?
Yeah, I have. I don't know if they're these exact kids, but
I've seen them tied together too. But I don't know if it's this group here, but one way to control
I don't
them.
think they're tied, George. I think
No.
they hold on to a rope. And
Oh, is that?
Yeah, they hold on to a rope so that nobody gets lost.
I thought they were corralled or something for the day. Not saying that they do it here. I was just saying
Yeah,
I've seen
I know,
it.
George.
I've seen it in the streets.
They're all bundled up out there. They know it's a cold day. Their moms and dads.
I think they've got their
Got
eyes
all.
or their thoughts on the holiday, though. They know that
You're
it's
right. Yep.
time of year to be good.
They are. They're very well behaved. I see a couple of them waving, but they're all standing still. Nobody's jumping out of line.
We've got a slight delay in the parade here as things are held up. We're going to remind you about Communicate with Your Education System here on TV 13. That happens Mondays at 6:30 in the evening. Gives you a chance to learn more about what your educational system is doing to improve your schools. Just another way that TV 13 keeps in touch with your community.
And that's something that benefits all of the kids.
And we've got some movement here in the parade. No, I'm sorry. It was a false start. We're going to be back with more of the 1991 Carbon County Veterans Day Parade in just a moment.
Communicate with Your Education System is the show that updates you with its education bulletin board, discusses issues dealing with education in the local communities, and tries to give you the answers to all of your questions and concerns. We cover a wide range of educational topics in an open access show with a vital interest in the thoughts and opinions of the community. So be sure to tune in every Monday night at 6:30 on Blue Ridge Cable TV 13.
And we're back with the 1991 Carbon County Veterans Day Parade. I'm Marie Johns along with George Roberts. And right now we're looking at the Girl Scouts of Palmerton. Margot Ashner is their leader. All displaying their flags proudly on Veterans Day.
Also in here we should have the Melody Dance Studio. Well, actually, that's probably coming up after we get a hold of the.
We're
we
doing
got the
Girl Scouts and brownies.
I'm sorry, excuse me. Pardon me, excuse me.
You should know that by those beanies, George.
I don't know. I was in Cub Scouts.
I was a brownie.
You were a brownie and I was a Cub Scout.
Look at these interesting Uncle Sam's. No, you can't see them on the screen yet. All these children carrying flags. And there you see some of the Uncle Sam's that they must have made as one of their crafts.
And the Towamensing Girl Scout Troop 305 will be coming up behind them. It was always interesting, and I don't know if you did in Girl Scouts. When I was in Boy Scouts, we made a lot of things that you can't do nothing with, really. It was just to keep us busy, I think. I don't know.
Actually, we learned some pretty neat things. We learned how to sew, and we learned how to cook. And
did you?
Sure.
I must have went to the wrong one.
It all depends on the leaders, and I'm sure these are some great leaders out here. These kids have smiles on their faces.
And they wear the costume, they're not the costume, but the dress, the uniform. They are proud. They seem proud. I see pride in their eyes.
Some of them displaying all of their patches and on their banners.
Some are bouncing to the music, or they're trying to keep warm.
Yeah, one of the two.
Or maybe both. See a little bit of rain on the camera lens. I know Frank is going to run out there and wipe that off very shortly.
So everybody at home will know what that is when they see that little spot disappear.
Coming up next, Girl Scout Troop number 48.
This is the junior troop. A couple umbrellas opened up here.
In fact, if we look at the puddles, we can see the rain has picked up a little bit.
They're followed by Troop 87.
We're indoors, by the way. That's why we don't know exactly where. Well, actually, it's thank goodness we're inside, or we'd be soaking
wet. That's right.
Wet.
We're nice and warm, too.
Yes.
Here comes the Marian Catholic Band. Some of them in rain gear, some of them braving it.
Mrs. Hillary Kennedy is in charge. The juggler from Dennis Flower Shop.
His hands are probably cold.
No, he's got the moving. I don't think to do that. I don't think his hands are cold.
Can you do that?
No. Juggling fruit has never been one of my
fortes.
Fortes, right? What do we have next? The Booster Club, football players and cheerleaders and pom-pom girls.
I can hear them shouting out there, doing some of their cheers.
Translate for us, Marie.
I can't make out what exactly they're saying, but I can tell they're excited.
Coming behind them, the football players of the Booster Club. That's always great. They get the kids real young involved And I understand by the time they make it to the high school level, the coaches are really excited with the progress that they show. And the work the Boosters Club do in the clubs that they in all the different areas.
They really get them
I've
ready.
Heard good things about the Boosters Club.
And all these little boys already have their numbers. I bet you if we follow them through to high school, a lot of them will be wearing those same numbers.
And we have more cheerleaders. Splashing just a bit in the rain, the puddles on Delaware Avenue. Coming up next, VFW Post 256, Lehighton Auxiliary. The officers are in the car, actually the truck with the float on the back.
Look like they have some lawn chairs on the back there, relaxing. Covering up with a red, white, and blue Afghan in there. Staying a little warmer.
Coming up behind them, the VFW Ladies Auxiliary Officers from Post 256.
And the Schuylkill Carbon Detachment 626 right behind them. Not up to that. There they are.
There we go. Coming up next on the screen. Just a reminder that Blue Ridge Cable TV 13, in cooperation with Northampton Community College, will be airing a 26-part telecourse entitled Discovering Psychology. The course airs Wednesday evenings from 7:30 until 8:30. Look for it right here on TV 13.
That was the end of Division 2. Division 3, here's the Pennsylvania National Guard Jeep letting us know we're starting Division 3
of the 1991 Veterans Day Parade here in Carbon County.
As we said, it's a little wet and a little cold, but there are still people out there watching, and people watching from their windows.
But you've got the best seat in the house. You're watching it here on TV 13. And you're nice and warm. I'm sure you have your hot chocolate. And you're enjoying the sights and the sounds, because we're TV 13. Marie, I'm sorry, I was just going to say, you know, there was some thought or crossed my mind that maybe this parade wouldn't get off the ground because of the rain today. And it's great to see that everybody is out. Everybody's come out. In fact, I don't think we've missed a beat here.
We haven't. You're right. You're right. We haven't missed a beat, and everybody's come out that has said that they would.
We've got the Jim Thorpe Post 304 American Legion Color Guard and some vehicles behind them. So far, no horses.
No horses.
So nobody has to watch where they step.
Oh, George.
It's just that it's wet out, and you got to watch when you're clomping along that you hit a puddle and.
Right. You don't slip.
At the end of this parade, you're going to be looking for something hot to drink, right?
That's right.
A warm place to sit down.
Comes a flag waver. See that? No, not yet. There they are.
Go.
Right on their heels is the Jim Thorpe Band, I believe this is. Darryl Sywell is their director.
Doing their rendition of God Bless America.
Their cheerleaders, their hoods up and their sweatshirts.
Looks a little brighter out right now, Marie.
Yeah, it does. I won't dare to say the sun's trying to break through or anything, but you're right, it has gotten a little brighter.
A little fog up on the mountain, though. Coming up next, it's Cub Scout Troop 41.
Keith Scherer was the organizer there. Now this is you when you were little, George.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. That was me when I was there. You're watching the 1991 Carbon County Veterans Day Parade on TV 13, brought to you in part by the Palmerton Hospital, Gilbert Medical Center, and George I. LaRose Insurance. I'm George Roberts along with Marie Johns.
Right now we're looking at Cub Scouts Pack 209. And I believe they're...
And it looks like they might have a float back there. We'll have to wait and see. It's the old hurry up and wait.
Leona Green is in charge of these young gentlemen.
Now they're from Toamense.
I don't know if I could have carried a flag so big. We don't see it on the screen here, but some of these little children have awfully large flags they're holding there.
I remember being in parades when I was young. Just marching was tough enough. Carrying a flag was a whole other
that flag's an awful lot bigger than they are.
Yeah. Here they come. Cub Scout Pack 209. And they did put a float together.
They have a float with the United States and Uncle Sam and Betsy Ross.
They're honoring all veterans. One guy is a splitting image of Abe Lincoln.
I was going to say, he has an Uncle Sam hat on, but he could pass as Abe Lincoln.
Could be. And some patriotic pop music. And that's it for Cub Scout Pack 209. Coming up behind them is Troop 41. Well, we see another flag for Troop 41 there.